We want to welcome everyone to our regular council meeting. Madam Clerk Rogo,
Vice Mayor Desilme,
here.
Councilwoman Timothy,
Here.
Councilman Galvin,
Here.
Councilwoman Estime Irvin.
Present.
Vice Mayor, you have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And now let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance with, Commander Brooks. How are you, Crystal?
Commander Crystal.
Thompson. I'm sorry, Crystal Thompson.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now invocation by Rabbi. Let's Rabbi.
Before I begin the invocation, I want to just introduce it with some spoken words because evil festers in the unspoken word. So, Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, Rosa, and all my brothers and sisters present. We live in a time in which we have feigned political correctness. If you look at any TV show, you look at any sitcom, you're going to find all people represented. You'll find a Jewish character, you'll find a man of color, you'll find a heterosexual, you'll find a homosexual, you'll find a transgender. However, what's going on the streets, my friend? My friends, on the streets we have hatred, we have prejudice. We have in Colorado an attack on a gay club, unmentioned in main media. We have in New York people glorifying Hitler, may his name be blotted out. So we are dealing with a generation that presents itself as open and equal, and yet we are struck with prejudice, hatred, and bigotry. And that comes from a lack of humility, which leads to a lack of self-respect and self-acceptance. Hence, I begin my prayer. God, please grant each and every one of us the divine humility, the open heart that we need in order to rule fairly, without bigotry, without bias. God, please grant those who have been elected to serve and to judge to do so faithfully, without prejudice, bigotry, or hatred. Please place your acceptance, your love for all human beings within the heart of all those that are present. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi. Madam Manager, any addition, deletion, amendment to the agenda?
No.
Mr. Attorney, are we all set?
Yes, Vice Mayor, the agenda is set. You may proceed.
Thank you. And now let's go for a special presentation. Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Councilwoman Cassandra Timothy, and it is an honor to be amongst you all this evening for a special occasion as we recognize the rabbi who just spoken some powerful words that is happening right now throughout our country. So I thank you for those words of inspiration spoken. As you know, we are approaching the Hanukkah season, and every year the rabbi comes to the city of North Miami, lights the menorah, and we saw fit to honor you today, to tell you thank you for your continuing service to the city of North Miami. Thank you for every year hosting the menorah lighting in our community. I know Councilwoman Keys was someone who you used to host with, and now as the District 2 representative, I want to ensure that we keep shining the light and we keep this tradition going in the city of North Miami. So I hope you all would join us on Monday at 6:30 for our menorah lighting in the city of North Miami. But today in the city of North Miami, for all your years of service, and your bio is just magnificent. And today we've declared it Rabbi Lipschitz Day in the city of North Miami. And just a token of appreciation from the mayor and city council. And it says, with our greatest appreciation presented to Rabbi Lipschitz from Shabbat, I know I'm going to brutal this, of North Miami in recognition of your continuous years of dedicated service, hard work, commitment to the North Miami community from the Office of Mayor and Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, look this way. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
I already shared my words, so I just want to take this one moment to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for really creating such a safe city and where everyone feels safe and welcome. And thank you for being our representative in the district too. A very special thank you to Rosa, who's always there to help me.
Now, Madam Manager, special presentation. And if I may, I'm sorry, if we may just do the report towards the end of the meeting, that would be.
You want to do
Whistler's
you want to do the report? Oh,
Yeah, just
Whistler's
Whistler's
report?
report, yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay,
fine.
thank you.
To the end of the meeting?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we'll do the finance, then the budget presentation,
Budget.
and we'll hold the next presentation for the end.
Okay. Good evening, Miguel Augustin, Finance Director. I'll be presenting the fourth quarter finance cash report for the city. So these are numbers as of September 30, 2022. Okay, so this chart presents the balances as of September 30th compared to the previous quarter, which ended at June 30th. Just to make it brief, the main operating account, or the daily investment account, experienced a decrease of $5,600,000 or 9% over that period. I'll get into some of the details in the back end. The only other account of note is the Wells Fargo restricted account. There was a transfer from the main operating account to the restricted account, increasing the balance from 3.1 million to 6 million. I should point out also that we were able to get better interest rates on the Florida Prime SBA account as interest rates have increased. We're also in negotiation with the other banks to increase rates as well. All right, just really quickly, I've broken out the 5.6 decrease in cash over the 3 months, July, August, September. For July, there was a net inflow of 1.6 million. There was an inflow of 10 million versus an outflow of 9 million, so it was relatively flat. The only things of note, there was an increase in the cash for the sale of the Gwen Margolis, which happened in July. So that was 3.1 million. In August, things were relatively flat, an overall net outflow of 878,000. So not very much difference between what we took in but what was spent. In September, we had a net outflow of, this is all for the net operating accounts as well, a net inflow of 7.6 and net outflow of 14. That was primarily because of the 2.5, the 2 million that was transferred from the operating account to the Wells Fargo account. And there were also some large payments that cleared in September. issued in August but cleared in September, which contributed to the large cash outflow in September. This next chart just shows the difference between Okay, so this chart just shows the balances comparing year over year. As you can see, last year's balances, well, total, was 71 million compared to the 86 million at the end of September of this year. And these are primarily because of the ARPA funds that we received year over year, and also the Gwen Margola sale. Any questions?
Council members, any questions?
I have a question. The change in, the $5.6 million change in the daily investment account, what was the reason for that?
Well, it's it's multiple reasons. That's why I went over the month by month. So overall, it was 5.6, but over the months, you compare month to month, inflows, outflows. The big change really was September, where you have a $6.3 million outflow. That's the biggest contributor to the $5.6 million difference. And that was because we transferred the $2 million from the Gwen Margola sale into the restricted account because we wanted to keep those funds separate for the purchase of the Scott Galvin Center when that time comes. And there were also some big payments for Miami-Dade Water and Sewer. Some that were done at the end of August, but cleared the bank in September, so it artificially made the outflow seem like there was more cash going on, but it was really just an August payment that cleared in September.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes, Councilmember Guy.
Thank you for your presentation. Are there any concerns that you'd like to put on record?
No, not at this time. We just, like I said, like I always say, we just have to be prudent with our spending. We were fortunate to be the beneficiaries of the American Rescue Funds over the past 2 years. So, I mean, yes, those are helpful, but we have to be mindful that these are one-time funds, and just be mindful when we undertake spending activities. But other than that, no other concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you.
Good evening. Vivian Cao, Budget Director for the City of North Miami. And tonight we'll be reviewing the city's fiscal year 21-22 fourth quarter financial report, covering the period from October 1st, 2021 through September 30, 2022. The financials being presented tonight are not final, as these have not been audited, as the city is going through its end-of-year closeout process. For our general fund revenues, the total general funds revenue collections for the period were $73.9 million. What happened? Okay, sorry. These revenues were higher than budget due to the local option gas tax, the state revenue sharing, the half-cent off-duty police reimbursements, and Sony reviews revenues coming in higher than expected. Also reflected under the miscellaneous revenues is the Gwen Margola sale for $3.1 million that happened last year. For the general fund expenditures by departments, total expenses were $65 million for the year. This include over $1 million for POs that have rolled over into the fiscal year 22-23. for ongoing projects and an additional $2 million under non-departmental mostly for already allocated capital projects, including the North Miami Beach, the North Miami Stadium bleacher, the Breezeway Park, ERP implementation, and various city hall repairs. The expenses by category under the general fund were lower than budget due to vacant positions citywide, operating costs lower than budget, and capital projects being in the design phase. Our enterprise funds, which include water and sewer, water, fire floor demand, and the stormwater revenues, are recognized when payments are received. As of the date of this report, the total revenues were $37.2 million and expenditures were $37.6 million. The special revenue funds includes the second payment for the ARPA funds that were received during the fiscal year for $9.6 million. CDBG, NSP, SHIP, and all other grants are reimbursed after expenses are incurred. Under the miscellaneous grant portion, the revenues included reimbursement from the CARES Act. Transportation funds, they have sensor tax expenses for the period are reflected at 48% due to the capital improvement projects being in design. Internal service funds includes the risk and the fleet management that receive revenues from department to cost the cost of the premiums, administrative charges for claims, and vehicle maintenance. Expenses for fleet management were lower than budget due to vehicle demand issues making purchases to take longer than expected. For risk management, compensation claims were lower than anticipated. And our debt service fund, that this is for the pension loan repayment revenue and expenses that are allocated to departments based on budget. That will be it. Is there any questions?
Council members, any questions?
None from me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any city announcements?
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Council, staff, North Miami neighbors, and guests. My name is Tracy Pollock, and I'm presenting the following announcements on behalf of the City of North Miami. MoCA's newest exhibit is the Haitian-born artist and North Miami native Didier William. It's currently on display until April 16th, 2023. The City of North Miami is seeking teens who reside in the city to sign up to participate in its Leaders in Training program. North Miami teens will have the opportunity to receive leadership development, build their resume, and get a paid summer internship. Application deadline is Sunday, February 19th, 2023. For details, contact North Miami Housing and Social Services Department at 305-893-6511 or social services at northmiamifl.gov. Join us at the North Miami Public Library on Wednesday, December 14th at 6 p.m. for a special children's book author visit from Eric Ludwin, author of Pete the Cat series. Vice Mayor Alex DeSome, in partnership with Nomi Food Pantry, FarmShare, Amazon, and the Karma Foundation, presents a free drive-through food distribution on Thursday, December 15th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Sunkist Grove Community Center at 12500 Northwest 13th Avenue. Councilwoman Mary Estime Irving, Association of Haitian Educators of Dade, and local school board members invite you to attend the 2022 Holiday Mixer on Thursday, December 15th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Mocha Paradise Courtyard. That's 770 Northeast 125th Street. Celebrate the holidays at Winter Wonderland with Councilwoman Mary Estime Irving and her colleagues on the City Council. The event is Friday, December 16th at Cagney Park North, 13498 Northeast 8th Avenue in North Miami beginning 5 p.m. Join the North Miami Police Department for Let It Snow, a family-friendly event happening on Saturday, December 17th from 9 to 12 p.m. at the North Miami Police Department, 700 Northeast 124th Street. The City of North Miami invites you to the 2022 menorah lighting ceremony hosted by Councilwoman Cassandra Timothy and Shabad Lubavitch of North Miami on Monday, December 19th at Mocha Plaza, 770 Northeast 125th Street, beginning 6:30 p.m. Join us at 6 p.m. on Monday, December 19th at the Joe Celestine Center, 1545 Northeast 135th Street, and Tuesday, December 20th at the Scott Galvin Community Center, 1600 Northeast 126th Street, to attend the North Miami Comprehensive Plan update meetings. To complete the survey for NOMI Beyond the Centennial, visit the city's website. And don't forget about the winter break camp beginning December 26th with the Parks Department. Visit the city's website for pricing and details. To stay up to date with NOMI news and events, log on to North Miami website at northmiamifl.gov. Click on Connect with NOMI on the homepage to sign up for the city's newsletters. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NOMI News. This concludes the city announcements. Thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pollock. And now appointments. Madam Clerk.
So we have appointments for 3 different boards and committees. So I'll be doing them in groups. The first one, a resolution of the City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, appointing Wuz Michel Gapiel to the Citizens Investigative Board in accordance with Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 12, Section 2-261 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, providing for an effective date and all other purposes.
You need a motion?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to appoint Wuz Michel Gapiel to the Citizens Investigative Board. The motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Desame. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
Can you just make a
A
motion to
resol-
approve all the rest?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, appointing Bernadette Pierre to the Downtown Action Plan Advisory Committee in accordance with Chapter 29, Article 2, Division 4 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Is there a motion?
Yes, Madam Clerk, can you read into the record all of them, Mr. Attorney, is that appropriate? So
So the
move
rest
faster?
of them are in just one group.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
perfect. So move from Madam Pierre.
Second.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Desome to appoint Bernadette Pierre to the Downtown Action Plan Advisory Committee. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estime Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote. The following few, I believe 3, will be for the Youth Council. A resolution of the City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, appointing Anna Paulino, Stacy Alcina, and Azaria Charlize Filosin to the North Miami Youth Council in accordance with Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 11, Section 2-257 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Is there a motion?
So
Move for
moved.
approve. Second.
Go ahead. I'll second it.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Estime Irvin to appoint the individuals stated to the North Miami Youth Council. The motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Desome. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
Consent agenda.
Unless a member of the City Council wishes to remove a specific item from this portion of the agenda, tabs A through G constitute the consent agenda. These resolutions and items are self-explanatory and are not expected to require additional review or discussion. These items will be recorded as individually numbered resolutions adopted unanimously by the following motion: that the consent agenda comprised of tabs A through G be adopted.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Desome to approve the consent agenda. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
Tab H.
Tab H, a proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, declaring a vacancy in the office of the mayor and providing for an appointment by the remaining members of the city council to fill the vacancy. In accordance with section 15 of the city charter, providing for an effective date and all other purposes, Tab H.
Vice Mayor, Council, Tab H is, as we all know, the Mayor Bien-Aimé, resigned effective as of November 22nd, 2022, which thereby created a vacancy in his seat. This resolution would have you go through the process of appointing someone as mayor. That's all.
Thank you. Now we have public hearing on the tab open. We have 2 mics. Please use the mic. And you have 2 minutes. Oh, it's actually working. 2 minutes on the item. Tab H is open for public discussion. Oh, good. Hearing none. Mr. Mayor.
Didn't want to do it.
You didn't have to.
My name is Joe Celestin, 13500 Northeast 3rd Court. I'm happy to be here. Councilman Galvin, good to see you. And the rest of the council. Madam City Manager, hi, Mr. City Attorney. I'm here in support of this resolution tonight. I'm excited that we've come to the conclusion of making a decision tonight. And I hope all of you will do the right thing. I'm supporting Alex Desilme to be the next mayor. I've known him for many years, like you know him for many years, Scott. And we all know Alex, and I'm hopeful the member of the council will do the right thing to keep the city together and continue the great work we've done together. I pray that all of you unanimously will appoint this young man as our next mayor. I've known him, he'll do a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And seeing none, public hearing is, come on, we got 2 mic, y'all.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Yeah. Pierre France Charles, 855 Northwest 126th Street, North Miami. Good evening, everybody. Vice Mayor, council members, city administration, Madam Manager. How you guys doing? Let me say happy holidays to begin with. And I'm in favor of this item. And I just want to follow the footsteps of our former mayor. I'm here in support of Vice Mayor Alex Desilme to fill in the mayor's seat. And as you all know, our Vice Mayor is a man of his word. He's lived all his life. It's just basically all about North Miami. And I would love to see that tonight. All of you just push him to the seat, and then I think that would be the best choice. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Vice Mayor, the rest of the council, all the city administrators, the city residents, as well as the members who are here tonight. My name is Dr. Fela Delika, 3515 Van Buren Street, apartment 103, Hollywood, Florida, 33021. A former resident of this great city and also in favor of this item on the agenda, and here to support Dr. Alex Desilme, Vice Mayor, to be appointed to the mayor position. He has shown himself over and over again as a public servant who's been consistent. I've known him most of my life, if not all of my life, and I've seen the great work he's done in the various capacities that he has served for the city, for the community, and as an educator, a fellow educator as well. I know he would do good work. He is unbiased in his support for the needs and addressing the concerns of this city, as well as others who call themselves friends like myself of the city of North Miami. So I look forward to hopefully the council as well will take note of these comments that have gone before me as well to also appoint Dr. Alex Desilme to the position of mayor. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Karen Frederick, 425 Northeast 139th Street, North Miami, Florida, 33161. I'm not against Vice Mayor, but I'm here to support member of council right here to appoint our former mayor, Philip Bien-Aimé, as a guy who came from a deficit and put the city of North Miami back together as a organizer, as a, I don't know, I'm just a little bit excited to ask council members to appoint Philip Bien-Aimé as your mayor to continue his term and make sure that city of North Miami continue to be on the same, path and moving forward. And Vice Mayor, I have nothing against you. I love you, you know that. But
I love you too.
let's keep it together and appoint Philip Bien-Aimé as your continue mayor of North Miami.
Eileen B. Cabo, 13350 Northeast 3rd Court. I am against having the former mayor continue as mayor. Let's get some fresh blood in here. I have been on my street for 28 years and have been flooded out the last 4 years under his leadership. We need fresh blood. Also, I would like to see that when they do have the next election, that'll be in May. Have the election in May and then do the 2024 election. Thank you.
Just a reminder that there are 2 podiums. Please start lining up.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Mayor, Madam City Clerk, and the Council, and Madam CRA. My name is Maria Etienne. I'm a nursing professor from Miami-Dade College, and I mention that because I have a close working relationship with Vice Mayor Desulme. I am a business owner of the city of North Miami, 1175 Northeast, 125th Street, Suite 612. I'm mentioning this because I'm here in support for the Vice Mayor to be appointed because the work that we have done in the community is immeasurable. Dr. Desulme, the Vice Mayor, has been a proven leader in our community, and I have seen him grow up in this community and has been consistent in serving the elders, serving people who have suffered of crime, human trafficking, domestic violence, youth. I have seen him at work, and I'm very proud of him. And I hope that the council will give him the opportunity to serve in this capacity to continue to better serve the citizen of the city of North Miami. Thank you.
William Prevotel, 12,000 North Bay Shore Drive. There's obviously a precedent there when someone is a vice mayor to become mayor. But let me share with you that of these last few years of participating in these meetings, attending these meetings, and seeing all of you in action, may I sincerely say that our city would be in good hands with any of you, any of the 4 of you, taking the helm. There were times when that wasn't always the case, but we have a particularly competent council, and I think a particularly competent upper staff for our city. And for all you guys to get us through a pandemic, an insurrection, civil injustice, along with our police department, which has been so commendable. Boy, we have a lot to be proud of. And who exactly is mayor at this point almost doesn't matter. Good luck to whoever that might be. But we really have a lot to be thankful for this time of the year and having gone through all this. So thank you all for really getting us through this in halfway decent shape as we have, stellar shape actually. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Aloud Pierre. I'm a resident of the city of North Miami. I've been working in the city for so long. I am a retired government employee for over 30 years, and I've also been serving the youth in the city of North Miami
for almost 16 years. I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you sitting in this podium. But however, I'm standing here on behalf of the councilman, Vice Mayor Alex Desilme. There are certain things he's done for the youth while I'm leading the Youth of Valor Empowerment. It is something that remarkable. Vice Mayor always, doesn't matter what he's doing, he will respond to his phone call. If I say, sir, I need you, the Yovis need help, Dr. Desilme will be here. And most importantly, he has been acting in this capacity. He has been doing an outstanding job for the city. He has grown up in the city of North Miami. He knows the city. He's done an outstanding job. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, let's vote to keep Dr. Alex Desilme as the mayor of the city of North Miami. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm hearing none. Public hearing is now closed. Thank you so much. Colleagues, discussion?
Mr. Vice Mayor,
Yes.
I would like to nominate Vice Mayor Alex Desilme as the incoming mayor of the city of North Miami. Not only does it follow the natural progression that the vice mayor move up when there's an absence in the mayor's position, but I echo what a lot of people in the audience said. You have been North Miami since you were a little kid, and you've done great work, and you have supported this community in every way that I've seen possible. So it is my great honor to offer your name into nomination.
Thank you.
And I'm going to go ahead and second that. I'll second that motion, and it is no secret that sometimes we don't get along. But at the same time, I do believe that all of our hearts up here are for the betterment of North Miami. I believe that we have matured politically. I believe that we will do what it takes to move the city forward. So it's with great honor that I will go ahead and second this motion for you, Dr. Alex Desilme.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
If I may ask the city attorney,
Yes.
what happens then if the vice mayor is selected as mayor?
If the vice mayor is selected as mayor, you then have a vacancy in District 4.
Oh, so we have to appoint someone to District 4?
You'd have to appoint someone to District 4.
And would they have to have the same running requirements, like they'll have to live in District 4 for a
They would
year?
have to qualify like
Okay.
any other candidate would.
Okay. Just wanted to know that. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk?
So I just wanted to remind us that it's also to declare a vacancy in the office of the mayor. So if I may restate the motion, it would be to declare a vacancy in the office of the mayor and to then appoint Vice Mayor Desilme as the City of North Miami mayor to fill the vacancy. Is that fine?
Yes, that's my
Okay.
motion.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to declare a vacancy in the office of mayor and to appoint Vice Mayor Alex Desilme as the City of North Miami mayor to fill the vacancy. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estimate Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Officially. Oh my God, it's been a journey. You know, I don't want to call any names and I don't want to cry. But it's been a journey. And I want to say, you know, they always say, you know, you do what you need to do, and God will do the rest. And that's all I'm going to say tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you to my colleagues, my friend, Mary. Thank you. Thank you. Next item.
All right, right, tab I, a proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders to Tyler Technologies, Inc. to provide upgraded equipment for the ExecuTime digital payroll and biometric time attendance software system at a cost not to exceed $118,930, providing for an effective date and all other purposes, tab I.
This item, we have an ExecuTime where they put in the payroll. Tyler has new software. We need to actually update our hardware so that the software can continue. So I think that's the majority of the item.
I'm sorry.
This item was us upgrading the hardware for
Yes.
our payroll, so that they can put the time in. Employees can put the time in. We need to upgrade it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, public hearing on item K. Is it tab K?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I. Give me I'm sorry. Seeing none, public hearing is closed.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab I. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Timothy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
At this rate, we may have a record going back. Madam Clerk, would you please read tab J and K into the record together if we can? Thank you.
Absolutely. Tab J, a proposed second reading ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending sections 10, 36, and 58 of the city charter to change the date of the general election from May 9th, 2023 to November 5th, 2024, and to change the date of all subsequent elections, providing for the extension of existing terms of office, adopting such charter amendments pursuant to sections 100.3605 parentheses 2 and 166.021 parentheses 4 Florida statutes, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the charter, conformity of amendments, providing for repeal of conflicting provisions, and providing for an effective date. This item was continued from the November 18 special council meeting. Tab K, a proposed second reading ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 6 of the city code of ordinances entitled Elections by amending article 4 entitled Election Administration, specifically at section 6-76 entitled Dates of Elections, to change the dates for the regular elections from May in odd numbered years to November in even numbered years to coincide with national and gubernatorial elections, changing the date of the runoff election, providing for a repeal, conflict, severability, codification, and an effective date. This item was continued from the November 18 special council meeting. Tab K.
Yes, Mayor. I gotta get used to it. Okay. So, Mayor and Council, so these items have been before you before, so I think everyone's aware what it does. It moves the election from May of 2023 to November of 2024. The only thing I'll add to that is because of what just happened now with the appointment of the mayor, for District 4, it would still be an appointment on District 4. Based on the calculation of Mayor, I don't know.
That's fine, you can say Vice Mayor.
Mayor Desume's, when he was Councilman Desume's term, now Mayor's term, that the halfway point would, even with the November 2024 date, the halfway point of his term would have been February 11th of 2022. So even with this change, he would have served more than half his term plus a day, which means at least in District 4 that would still remain as an appointment. So I wanted to add that because that's information we didn't have as of the last time, and that is it.
Thank you. And for these two items, we don't need public hearing. We had it twice already in terms of that. Yes, I believe we did.
I'm sorry, if you can have the city attorney state that again, what you said at the end. I'm sorry, I was in and out.
About the District 4?
Yes.
Okay. So Councilman Desume, with the extension of his term to November 2024, the term for that District 4 term, The halfway point, if this passes tonight, the halfway point of that term would be February 11th of 2022, which means he has served, even with the extension, he would have served more than half his term plus a day, which means because the absence was, there's a vacancy created, that vacancy is filled by
An appointment.
by an appointment.
So that means during the next council meeting, when we appoint someone to District 4, if this item passes, they'll be there to November 2024.
They will be there till November 2024, yes.
Understood. And, well, what happens to the mayor's seat? Well, he would just be extended, automatically extended, if it passes.
He
Yeah.
is currently the mayor, so everyone, all four of you would be extended to November 2024, and whoever you appoint for District 4 would also be November 2024.
Understood.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they'll be
No,
extended
District,
longer.
I'm sorry.
2
Yeah,
and 3.
those elections that take place in 24, there's the other, I think, your seat and District 3 seat would be
Would've been
2026.
six. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I think we're missing Councilwoman Irving. It's 3 of us, but I'll move for both items. Can I motion both items? Would you prefer I do it separately?
Just only because they're ordinances,
Okay,
I prefer.
it's
just to do
ordinance,
separate.
okay. Tab J, I move, to move tab J.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion made by Mayor Desilme to approve the item at tab J. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. Councilwoman Estime Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Timothy, how do you vote?
No.
Mayor Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
The motion carries with a 3-1 vote. I'll need a motion on K.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve tab K.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab K. The motion was seconded by Mayor Desilme. Mayor Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Estime Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Timothy, how do you vote?
No.
The motion carries with a 3-1 vote. Please be advised that the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to speak in favor of, object to, or comment on an item, please complete a public speaker's card indicating the agenda item number on which you would like to comment. You must be sworn in before addressing the City Council, and you may be subject to cross-examination. If you refuse to submit to cross-examination, the City Council will not consider your comments in its final deliberation. Please also disclose any ex parte communications you may have had with any members of the City Council. City Council members must do the same. If you're giving testimony on tab L, please rise and raise your right hand as I issue the oath. One more time for good measure. If you're giving testimony on tab L, please rise and raise your right hand as I issue the oath. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say aloud, I do. Thank you, and please be seated. Tab L, a proposed quasi-judicial resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving an application for a conditional use permit in substantially the attached form for a proposed mixed-use development consisting of a 19-story, 450-unit rental apartment building, 11,620 square feet of ground-level commercial and retail space, an integrated 5-level parking garage with 685 parking spaces, and 54 plus or minus surface parking spaces on 3 parcels of real property located at 1660 Northeast 127th Street, Miami-Dade folio number 06-2229-007-0170. 12600 Northeast 17th Avenue, Miami-Dade folio number 06-2229-007-0320, and at the southeast quadrant of the Northeast 17th Avenue and Northeast 127th Street, Miami-Dade folio number 06-2229-007-0010, and totaling approximately 3.3 acres in accordance with Article 3, Division 4, Sections 3-402 through 3-407, Article 4, Division 2, Sections 4-202, Section 4-203, parentheses, capital A, and Section 4-205, and Article 4, Division 3, Section 4-310 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Chapter 29, entitled Land Development Regulations, providing for an effective date and all other purposes, Tab L.
Good evening, Derek Cook with Planning, Zoning, and Community Development Director. Thank you, Honorable Madam Clerk, through the Honorable City Manager. The item before you is a conditional use permit, as stated by the Honorable Clerk, located at 1660 Northeast 127th Street, 12600 Northeast 117th Avenue, located on the southeast corner of Northeast 17th Avenue and Northeast 127th Street. The parcel is approximately 144,000 square feet, which is approximately 3.3 acres. As part of the approval of the extension of the North Miami Transit Station Overlay District on 10/25 of this year. The current use is a vacant lot, and to the the west side of Northeast 17th Avenue, it is a parking lot. There are two lots there that the applicant owns for parking. As stated, the parcel is currently zoned as PU, which is public use. It also has the overlay district of North Miami Transit Station Overlay District, which allows for a wide variety of uses, including residential, office, and retail and restaurant. Has a maximum height of 200 feet, and it allows for a maximum density of 150 units per acre through the conditional use permit process. At its November 1st meeting, the Planning Commission, through a vote of 3-3 for approval, denied this item. During that meeting, there were several items that were discussed, principally dealing with traffic and dealing with parking in the area. And based on those concerns, there was a few items that the Planning Commission brought to attention that they requested of the applicant to consider as part of a recalculation of their traffic study dealing with associated uses within the area and potential new developments that have already been proposed in the area. This is unusual in the context that usually traffic studies are specific to the site. You don't necessarily take in consideration what has been approved in the area, such as in a few blocks away. But the applicant, through their due diligence, has decided to redo their traffic study to address that. They have that traffic study here this evening. I mention that because the old traffic study is within your packet, and it's important to make that notation that they have brought the new one that addresses those issues that the Planning Commission brought up on their November 1st meeting. So as stated, the proposal is for a 450-unit mixed-use development, which will be approximately 19 stories. It would provide 11,620 square feet of commercial space. It would have 230 feet along the northeast 127th Street, which would contain a raised public retail plaza area for the public and for the residents. It also will integrate a 5-story parking garage with 685 parking spaces and 60 parking spaces, surface parking, that is located on the west side of Northeast 17th Avenue. They would have enhanced stormwater retention, a certified green building construction, and 100% of Florida native planning. They also will include a public art element. The economic impact would include the following. They're estimating 1,210 short-term direct and indirect jobs associated during the construction, which will take approximately 2 years. They're looking at $106.9 million in wages during that time. They also anticipate 76 full-time jobs post-construction. Avalon taxes will be $1.1 million annually. Impact and development fees will be approximately $1.84 million. The conditional use permit will be required DRC review and also city council approval for the site plan. The site plan and architectural compliance will be a part of that approval. Construction will include a minimum of 6-foot wide sidewalks along Northeast 126th Street and Northeast 127th frontages. All utilities must be installed underground. The parcel must be unified prior to the city council site plan approval and provide for LEED certification or equivalent certification prior to the certificate of occupancy being issued. Sustainability comments that were issued was that they consider having a green wall, a rooftop garden, a wells, and rain garden. The next steps would include a review by the Development Review Committee and ultimately reviewed by you, City Council, for the site plan approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a
And-
reminder that if you haven't done so already, please fill out a public speaker card. They are found in the back of the room by the entrance on a small table.
How long is the presentation?
About 10, 15 minutes.
Oh,
I will condense it as best I can.
please do so.
We got some champagne on ice back there.
Okay, okay. Understood, understood. Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Mayor, congratulations on a well-deserved appointment.
Thank you, sir.
Council members Ethan Wasserman with Greenberg Trarg, 333 Southeast 2nd Avenue. Here on behalf of the applicant, Propco JW LLC. I'll condense this presentation as best I can. I think everybody here knows the area. This is a wonderful microcosm within the larger North Miami construct. You have all of the legs of the live, work, play, except for the live. And I give the city a lot of credit. This area has 2 grocery stores. I know I just did a grocery store in Edgewater. Very difficult approval. Nobody wants a grocery store until it's there, and then everybody's happy to have it. So you have a lot of the pieces of the puzzle there. We have an office building to our south. You have a commercial corridor. You have a northwest travel corridor on Biscayne, east-west travel corridor, 123rd. Obviously, we have the Galvin Community Center right at our doorstep, a huge community amenity. We also have trolley. I'll just show you real fast. We have trolleys going north-south and east-west right at our doorstep. So from a multimodal perspective, this project is really well situated to take advantage of the options available to it. In terms of our property, just to frame our discussion, we really have 3 pieces of our property. On our east, we have the vacant grass parcel. That's where the development will be located. We have 17th in the middle. That's something we are not actually going vertical on. We are going to leave that as is, as a paseo. It's almost like a public amenity space, but it's on our private property. We will elevate it for sea level rise and resiliency concerns, and it will be an outdoor space for retail. I'll show you that in a minute. And then we have our parking lot on our west. We are not proposing any development at this time on our parking lot. So here's a ground floor plan. As the planning director and zoning staff can attest, your zoning code really focuses projects from the ground floor up. They want to see and they incentivize you to have large outdoor spaces for pedestrians to walk and enjoy. And I'm happy to say our project is providing more setback than the minimum required in the code. We're providing less density than allowed in the code. We're providing more open space than our minimum, and we're providing less lot coverage. So we have not maxed out our envelope zoning, and I think that's important to identify. As you move from Biscayne Boulevard west, we have a huge amount of active space at the front. That's our co-working space. We have a dog park, an outdoor dog park as an amenity to our guests, to our tenants. We have our residential lobby on 127th. 127th is the primary frontage. From a zoning perspective, that's where city staff wants to see the active uses focused or concentrated. We do have a driveway on 127th. That's something that I think planning staff maybe would rather our driveways be on 126 because, again, the focus is on the pedestrian, and this is an interference. But our neighbor to our south spoke at the Planning Commission. One of the things they wanted us to make sure we accommodated was dual modes, dual distribution. So we have a driveway on 126, and we have a driveway on 127th, splitting the cars between those two roadways. What's interesting about this project that I haven't really seen before is our west, we're building full retail along what is considered an interior side. You normally don't see that on a project. Usually that's a dead space. That's just your side yard facing a neighboring project. We're activating it. We're bringing the public onto our site to service our retail. And that's intentionally located facing the Galvin Center. The Galvin Center is catty corner to us, right across the street. Everyone here knows the Galvin Center. There's outdoor tables right on that corner. We have outdoor tables on our corner. There's a nice synergy. The more successful the Galvin Center is, the more successful we'll be, and vice versa is true as well. Then as you turn the corner and go back to Biscayne, that's our back of house and our parking garage primary entrance. Here's a rendered landscape plan so you can see the green space we're providing at the ground floor. Typical podium floor plan. What's interesting about our garage is we are fully lined on two sides with habitable liner. Most of the projects we see have a single habitable liner. This has two habitable liners on our north and our west. As you go vertical, this is our amenity deck, and I'll show you on the next slide. That's the green space we're putting on our amenity deck. It's a really nice extra feature. I think staff was super appreciative that we did this. I don't like using the term green roof, but part of our resiliency perspective is if we put a lot of green on a roof, it cools the building, it keeps the electric bills down. So it's part of our efforts in designing this project. Here's a picture of the site. This is facing northeast, and what you can see is our tower is facing north. It's facing the Publix on the north side on 127th. You can see the Paseo on the bottom left as well as the parking lot. So we are not maxing out our development footprint. We are only going vertical on the north, call it a third or 20% of the site on the north side. Our parking podium, you can see the lush green space on top. And you could also see that we have a mural for more than half of the garage on our south. The mural is facing, the garage is facing the garage on our south, so that's why we designed it. It's compatible with the abutting uses right behind us, which is the office building's garage. In addition to the mural, we have architectural screening on the garage. Here's the north side of the building. The standout feature, and I'll show you a more 2D image, the standout feature in this project is our, and I need to figure out a better term for it, but the hole in the donut, the hole in the building. It's a very expensive design feature. We think it's something that is going to make this building stand out for us and for North Miami. That's lost revenue, that's lost floor plate. That is a 3-floor volume that is missing inside the building that could have been space for rental of whether it's units or otherwise. But we thought it was a very cool design feature and something that makes us a little different architecturally. We also, you could see here the balconies. The balconies are not your typical square balconies. We really try to embellish this building as best we can with proper architectural features. This is the former 17th. This is that Paseo we were talking about. This is a large outdoor amenity space. It should service whether it's a coffee shop, a smoothie bar, an outdoor. We can have outdoor events at this space as well. One of the comments at our community meeting was about the trees in this Paseo. We had originally designed with palm trees. One of the community members suggested palm trees really don't shade. They'd like to see a stronger shade tree. So we're looking at, I think the current design is going to be a gumbo limbo tree that provides nice shading, and we'll work with staff and present that back to you when we come back for DRC. We'll make sure we identify that in our package. But here you can see the robust retail space at the ground floor, and you can see the size of our sidewalks. We're really doing a lot to enhance the pedestrian feel and experience of the site. Here is looking east towards Biscayne. Again, really intended to show you the level of detail on the building from a design perspective. We worked very closely with staff. Staff is recommending in favor of this application, and we appreciate their support. Here you can see some of the enhanced details at the ground floor. There's pocket spaces for artwork. We hope when we're in for permit, we will work with a local artist or someone. We will probably work through the city for appropriate contacts. We want to curate a local artist for our project, and we hope to do that as we're in for construction permitting. But here you can see staff always wants to have a canopy shade structure so you can walk outside and be protected from the elements, and that's what I'm trying to show you in this slide. Here you can see the hole in the donut and how large it really is. That's if you're standing north or south of this project, you can see the sky through the building, and we're very proud of this design feature. The public benefits, the planning director has already discussed these, but you'll have $1 million in recurring tax revenue to the city. I'm always surprised at how these projects really can put a dent on the revenue system for the city. There's $2 million annually going to the county. That's both school board and the county itself. In terms of upfront fees, just to get the project out of the ground, there will be almost $2 million in impact and permit fees to the city, and there will be $4.5 million in permit and impact fees to the county. In terms of job creation, we'll have about 2,000 jobs in the short term during construction and almost 70 full-time jobs created by the project going forward. Now, before I close, and I try to honor my word to go quickly, I want to have my client just get up and say a few words on behalf of the ownership, but I want to close by mentioning 3 quick points about our community meeting, our neighbor support, and public parking. So first, on December 6th, we held a community meeting. Part of the reason we held that community meeting was at the Planning Commission. One of the things some of the board members wanted to see was a community meeting before we came back before you all. This was supposed to be on the November agenda. We continued it so we would have time to host a community meeting. I know some people were upset that there was a conflict in scheduling. I myself am one of those people who was upset about the schedule. It was on my birthday, but I'm happy I got to spend the community meeting with the community. About 20 people came, and we had positive discussion and I think overall support for the project, and some of the items that were brought to our attention have already been included into the project design. In terms of neighbor support, I'm very happy. I have 6 letters of support I will submit into the record, but most importantly, we have support by our neighbor, directly abutting neighbor to our west, and our neighbors in the office condo to our south. It's always wonderful to have your direct neighbor support your project. We hope to have support from the Galvin Center based on this next comment. Madam Manager, you challenged us on parking. Very strongly challenged us on parking, and I'm happy to report that we are going to provide, we're already providing parking to the city for use at the Galvin Center, but that will become permanent, and I'll explain how. So as I mentioned, we're not building on the parking lot to our west. That will remain open to visitors to the Galvin Center. Whenever the city has called, we had no problem opening up that for public parking. We realize even when the city doesn't ask, members of the community park on our lot to visit the Galvin Center. I make no comment to that on the record, but we will continue doing our best and being a good neighbor as we move forward. Once we're under construction and we may have some staging on that west parking lot, we have arranged at our expense to have parking in the office garage building. It's currently under renovation, that's why it's not available right now. Once it completes its renovation and we are under construction, there will be upwards of 40 spaces available to the public in that garage. That will be valet operated, so it's protected, it's secured, it's in a garage, and it's valet, which means it's a convenience for the residents. So we're very happy to do that. That will be for about 3 years during our project's construction timeline. Once we finish construction of our project, we are improving at our expense the areas of 126th and 127th directly abutting our project. We have about 27 spaces that will be implemented on street for the public, in addition to other areas on 126th, 127th, and the cross street for members of the public. So we realize that there is a community need for parking at the Galvin Center, and we've worked really hard through the manager's office to coordinate an intercoordination between our neighbors to make sure that the Galvin Center will always have parking while we're developing our project. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate the support from the planning director. As you all know, that is substantial competent evidence for you all to rely on to approve this project. And if I could ask Josh to say a few words, and then we'll close. I'd like to reserve some time for rebuttal after public comment.
Ethan, thank you. I'll be super fast since I know everybody would like to go to the post-meeting celebration, and we couldn't get the lawyer to stop talking.
There's not champagne back
there. But no, it's my honor to be here, Mr. Mayor, council, city staff. It's been a real pleasure working with everybody here. I'm speaking on behalf of the partnership tonight, and we're very involved in the community here. I think all of you know Anthony Hodes. Delighted to be his partner. He's very involved in the city of North Miami. We have a few projects that are ongoing. We're very proud of our support of the city. This project has been a labor of love for us in the design. I think it will stand out. The architecture is very significant. Glad to be here with our architects tonight. And it's been a real pleasure for all of us over the last year or so working with city staff. So thank you for your support. Thank you for meeting with us and the guidance that you've provided through the time.
public, I know there's several people who signed up for quasi-judicial. Anyone else? No, Chief? No?
Mr. Mayor, congratulations. What an honor
Thank
it is
you,
for me to
Chief.
stand up here and say, Mr. Mayor, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I remember a couple of years ago, before you were on the council and you were giving a political speech, I think we were at a restaurant. I called you the man for all seasons.
Yes, you did.
I had to get in there and endorse you, and I said, you are the man for all seasons. And not only that, when I look at you and I look at all the other mayors of Dade County, I want you to know that you are the best dressed man in Miami-Dade County.
When I come here.
You really are. You are, you know, you should be on the cover of Gentleman's Quarterly. One of the great things about this country is you arrived in this country, you got in the political process, and you're truly a success.
Thank you.
And I was offended a few weeks ago when I heard somebody refer to this as a banana republic. And that really irked me, because this is democracy in action. This is it, the inclusion, the participation. And that's, you know, that's what I went off to war for and fought for. And that's what a lot of people gave up their lives. And you know what? God bless you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you for serving.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
all of you guys up there for serving, because this is the pinnacle right here, the foundation, the fabric of that flag, democracy in action right here. Thank you. Now to get up and give the advertisement. This project, this 19-story beautiful building that's going to go up there, I live in that neighborhood. I lived in that neighborhood, my gosh, for almost 50 years. I remember that when it was a trailer park and we had North Miami General Hospital over there, and it was a disgrace, an absolute terrible disgrace. We have this beautiful project coming, and I can tell you unequivocally that all of my neighbors, I live 2 blocks away from this project, all of my neighbors on Emerald Drive, all of the homeowners over there and the property owners, they're excited about this project. We want to see this happen. This is truly a dynamic project. It's going to bring people into the city with disposable income, enhance the city. I was really impressed when I seen the presentation on Northeast 17th Avenue, between 126th and 127th Street, and that promenade that they're going to have over there, which I thought was really an exceptional thing. And they're looking out for the general public to come on in and invite everybody in. You know, I go downtown to the VA and I see all of these beautiful buildings along I-95 of the city of Miami, and I say, why can't we have some of them? Well, this is truly a start. You know, I remember when Johnson Wales came in and they took that trailer park out of there and it sat naked. Well, we rezoned that area, and this is truly going to be the start of something good for this city, with our tax base, with people with disposable income to keep our businesses going. And you know what? It's going to make me proud to be a neighbor of this project. So I really urge this council to really go for this project and support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Yes, William Prevotel, 12,000 North Bay Shore Drive. Even though I wish this was a quadrangle in the middle of a university campus, that's not going to happen. And therefore, I'd like to speak in favor of this project. And I'd like to put it in the context of relating to the other buildings that we currently have in North Miami that were built in the 60s and 70s that are 10, 12, 14 stories high. The benefit of this is many. This is a hurricane-hardened structure, whereas other buildings really are not. This has impact-resistant glazing, the fenestration on the outside. The other buildings do not. This meets the new energy codes. The other buildings do not. When there's a flooding in the local area or through our entire region, this building is raised up so that would not be too much of an impediment for this building. Our other buildings do not have that. In addition to it, we have more units, more height, more volume, and they're able to celebrate this environment. with great rooftop features, with streetscape features. They were able to manipulate and configure the overall geometry of the building to our favor, and I think this should all be applauded. What our city really needs is more of this throughout the city. It's also providing, we're talking about shade trees, but this building will provide great shade and cool off an area that itself is worth an enormous amount. And in addition to that, by having a structure of this type and magnitude, it will help to cut down on the high velocity winds that will be at some point striking our city. What it does is it will absorb those high velocity winds. It will then create a turbulence which is non-directional to the benefit
Thank
of
you,
the
Mr.
surrounding
Pavitel.
neighborhood. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Sebastian Semla. I'm a developer in town, as you guys know. Mayor, congratulations. I'm glad to have all you guys for an additional 18 months. It's very exciting. I think this is a fantastic project. The design is stunning. I'm really excited. North Miami is finally really coming on the map. I'm excited to have these developers come in and bring, you know, a fantastic project. And so obviously I'm in favor of, and I hope that you guys continue to approve all these projects, because we want to fix our budget. The only way to do it is not to cost save, but it's just to bring in more revenue. And this is what these projects do. So thank you. Thank you all for your service.
Good evening, members of the council. Mayor, congratulations. Madam Clerk, good to see you. My name is Jeff Lozama of 713 Northeast 125th Street. I'm a CEO of CMS International Windows and Doors, former chairman of the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, and current chairman of Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I'm in support of this project because, one, of its architectural value. It's an iconic building. You guys saw it. It's one of a kind in our area. And the developer for this project has a history of providing opportunities to local subcontractors and help them along to be compliant and remain compliant. This project will create opportunities for many of our small contractors in the area. My company, as a local registered North Miami company, was awarded the contract to supply and install hurricane windows, as you guys may know, at the Nomi Garden Residences, where it was difficult to meet the bond requirements for this project. The developer worked with my company and also worked with my surety bond agency to make sure that we were in compliant and we were successfully receive our bond. I think this project will create, and I know it will create, huge employment opportunity for many skilled workers and also a lot of apprentices in this area in the city. And for that, I really urge you to approve this project. Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Good evening, Council, and congratulations, Mayor. My name is Gio Darter, founder of Copper Bridge Foundation, 373 Northeast 125th Street. I, too, am in support of this project for the reason that I've been long enough. I'm just turned 60, or turning 60 very soon, and I've lived in 3 great cities: Miami Beach, downtown, and saw the development of the design center, and then Midtown. And I see that in North Miami now, with these types of projects, that's what's happening in our city. And design is everything. You could have development, but bad development. You could have buildings, but extremely bad buildings that actually destroy the future of a growing, productive, prosperous city. North Miami is considered that at this point. We are the next major city, and I think the last major city in Miami, to show what we could do. And we're in the right path with certain projects that I've seen already, and it's where you're one of them. But this project, I love the design of it. I love what it's going to bring. But most importantly, it's in an area where we can support more residences. I mean, again, it's a major Biscayne Boulevard. It's all about commercial space. And again, it's all about creating pedestrian walk in our downtown, which we have to keep and maintain. Because it does, someone just said, we have the best buildings in North Miami. We're about to show that next year. We have 250 people coming to our city to see our architecture, and they want to see what else is coming in the future to this city. So I applaud what you're doing, and I hope that you also grant this. And I am very proud to be living in North Miami and seeing our growth. So thank you.
Anyone else for public hearing? Seeing none, public hearing is closed on the item. Council members? Oh, are you coming up, sir? No. Are you coming on the item? Public hearing is closed. Thank you. Council members?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, well, just disclosure, I did meet with the developer, I think twice, but I know we met recently.
I've met with them also, and I say that to preface my thanks to you. The parking is desperately needed. I thank you for being open to allowing the garage to be, an option. I really can't thank you enough. It's going to be a great project. I know from the folks that are involved, it's going to be beautiful and it's going to fit the need of the community. But obviously, parking at the community center has been very important to me, and I thank you for being open to the parking garage option. Thank you.
Oh, I too met with the developers, and I did have some concerns that I shared with you all, and as well as with the city manager. Madam Manager, in my briefing, we were going over the amount of units that were left in the city, and you mentioned 1,200, but I know in the comp plan it was about 800. Do we have that final number? Like, what is it? Oh, I can't hear you.
From this project, it's 1,221. So as I had said in there, that we had that the number was floating, there may be another project coming after, so. in
So
terms
right
of the
now,
number.
approved and allocated, so we have
Yeah,
about 1,200.
That would leave 1,200.
If this one is approved?
Yes.
Okay. And then for Claude Pepper Park, how much units were allocated there? Because I know do we include Claude Pepper Park and those units in that number or no?
I would have to defer to the CP&D director.
Thank you, through the honorable city manager. Currently, that is not in our calculation.
And how much is left in Claude? How much was, I guess, the approved project for Claude Pepper Park? The
Claude
amount of
Pepper
units?
Park officially has not have an approved plan. We just have an RFP out. Then we have had, through your council wisdom, have selected a project that is proposing 1,500 plus units for the site through the Wedwood group. And through our comprehensive plan update, we have in hand to include a new pool of units. We're looking at 8,700 plus units totally, and from that pool, we'll be drawing that 1,500.
But before we approve the 8,700, the 8,700 additional units in the comp plan for the following years, isn't there a significant amount of infrastructure work that we have to do before we add that?
So when we do have it, they will go over the specifics that we would need to improve as it relates to the future. And they have delineated numbers that would need to take place for improvements to be able to support that new demand. We're looking at initially about $1 million+ to $2 million that we need to do immediately for that improvement, and that is already in discussion on how we will execute those funds so that may happen.
And in total, what is that complete number? Is it, was it a tune of like 4 million?
I think it was closer to about 3 million, but as I had discussed, we did not get the final
infrastructure.
Yeah, we don't have the final infrastructure, so for me to put out a number would not be correct. What we would not be okay today. What we do understand is there is some work that needs to be done, but it's all in pieces. So within 2 years, if we're expecting to put a certain amount of units, we would need to get some infrastructure funds. We have already gone back to our capital improvement plan. So once we have a final infrastructure plan, we take that, we go to our capital improvement, and we do the projects that go in line with that. But with respect to adding the development, we don't have a development agreement yet with Pepper Park. Then they would have to do a CUP and a site plan. So all of those things would have to happen before we're getting to the allocation. But what the main thing is that we do not expect that we would be below any allocation of units that we need at this time.
So when do we foresee this infrastructure study being completed? Because for me, I would be more comfortable supporting more development, knowing what our infrastructure needs are. That's why I requested if we can maybe have a development huddle, an infrastructure huddle, so we understand, you know, what our needs, what improvements do we need to make in the city now in order to prepare for further development. I know we're having, you know, this conversation now with our comp plan, and I know it's being delayed a little bit, but I would request of this council if we can maybe wait on approving this item until we know what our infrastructure needs are. Because as I'm hearing, you know, we have city-related projects and units allocated for Rux Parks and so forth that hasn't been allocated. I don't want us to get to a place where we're just allocating units and then when it's time for city-related projects to come forth, there's, you know, we have to do infrastructure work in order to get those completed.
I just want to clarify that this project specifically, there is units for it today. Additional projects, we expect that the infrastructure study will be in close order to the comprehensive plan. And even still, there's space for some units to be allocated, but to get to that total of 8,700, there's work that has to keep happening. So that's the best explanation of where that is.
Thank you. Any other council member? Council member.
Thank you for the presentation. As you know, we've spoken, and I told you that I would, by the way, I've had ex parte communication. Just want to declare that. You know my love for having affordable and workforce housing. And so my understanding, this is going to be 100% market rate. So are you open to putting some funds aside to help us with our workforce and affordable housing, and how much are you able to put aside?
Certainly. We recognize there's an affordability crisis in South Florida. This is a market rate project. We're more than happy to work with your office, and you made your position that it's an important issue, and it's an important issue to everyone. Let me huddle up with my client for 1 second, and let me circle back with you. But yes, we are absolutely willing to.
And I'll know this tonight, right?
Yes, yeah,
okay.
right now.
Just want to make sure.
Yes. So my client is willing to make a voluntary proffer for $100,000 towards, I don't want to limit it to workforce housing. We would put it in your discretion or this body's discretion how you want to allocate funds, whether it's rent assistance. We want you to have the flexibility to decide how to allocate those funds. But we're willing to make that proffer tonight voluntarily.
Okay, so how would we, Madam City Manager, Madam City Attorney, how would we arrange that to make sure?
Generally, when there's money that's like allocated for a specific purpose, I can talk to finance to kind of create an account for that specific purpose. Currently, we don't have one in terms of workforce housing or an affordable housing trust, but if funds come in and they're going to be allocated specifically, they would go into a reserve account for that specific purpose.
And how quickly do you plan to, thank you, how quickly do you plan to get into the ground?
Our clients would like to go full steam ahead. We still have to come back for DRC, so that's a few months away, and then after that, it's a few months to permit. The goal, it's an aggressive goal, but the goal is third quarter of 2023. Okay. So that means in the ground permit, and that's when fees, all of the fees we talked about previously in the public benefits page, the economic impact report, that's when that would be due to the city.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. I know we had several meetings leading up to this. I wanted to say that a lot of the concerns that I had and I shared probably was mainly about in reference to the parking, and I think I pretty much satisfied. My question would be, the building across, I guess across from the Galvin Center, the parking garage that's behind I guess the building that's on the medical, so is that the building is that the garage you're referencing to?
Yeah, just
okay.
East, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab L. The motion was seconded by Mayor Desilme. Councilwoman Timothy, how do you vote?
No.
Councilwoman Estime Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor, I was doing so well.
It's okay. It's okay.
I was doing real good.
Yes.
Mayor Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
The motion carries with a 3-1 vote.
Thank you very much. We look forward to coming back with DRC as soon as we can. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now, discussion item. Oh, wait. Can we do the presentation from the report? Yes.
Can we do this one?
Yeah, let's do that. No, we'll do that last. Let's do the report by the manager, and then we can do that
I
one.
have a lot of questions for that one.
Half of the room is there for them. FIU. Look at them. Whistler, we gotta go. I know. And Mr. Pierre Lewis, what I would ask, is Alina here? Is she? No. I thought I saw her.
She is.
She's here? Yeah, hey, are we still on a meeting? Yes, so I would ask that we go over the report. She was asking about the report.
She actually said she speak for 10 minutes.
No, I told her, no, we're not doing that. Ms. Baraka, if I may, how you doing? I know we have a meeting, and this is an item that's very dear to you. So I'll ask if Mr. Pierre Lewis could give us a quick synopsis, and as you know, we will kind of meet and debrief over it, and if we need to bring him back up for another presentation, we could do that. But go ahead, Mr. Pierre Lewis.
Okay.
Not the whole long.
Good. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Congratulations, Mayor Desilme.
Thank you.
Whistler Pierre Lewis Public Works Department, and I'll be as brief as possible. Let me know if you need me to slow down or speed up. I'll try to make the adjustments accordingly.
Speed up.
So this is a special presentation on drainage and sewer issues that have been highlighted. They were highlighted at the November 18th council meeting. Just to give a little background, there was a stormwater master plan that was done in 2012. It was presented to council, and that stormwater master plan update was an update of the 2000 stormwater master plan update. And the goals of that stormwater master plan were to improve flood control, water quality protection, update the floodplain management plan, and NFIP and to update for the CRS program, which is where we get the discounts for our flood insurance. These were the drainage basins throughout the city that were established that they evaluated at that time. And at that time in 2012, the area that we're calling Third Court was not part of the city. It was annexed after the 2012 master plan was completed. The outcome of that master plan was a 50-year capital improvement project plan. The total amount of money that our consultants recommended or suggested or estimated to address the flooding issues for the areas that they analyzed was $58 million over 50 years. Some factors that influence or may influence street flooding include rainfall intensity. That's how the amount of water, the quantity of rainwater, and the duration. And we all know that with the climate change that those rainfall intensities have been increasing. There's also storm surge that impacts the flooding when we're facing storms. Sea level rise, the groundwater table level has risen. Road elevations, if you're at a low point in a road, water flows to the lowest point. It's most likely that that's where there would be some type of flooding. your drainage system. Depending on what type of infrastructure you have there, some streets do not even have infrastructure, and then you also have to consider the capacity of the pipes and the drains that are at the locations that you're analyzing. Additionally, you look at the surface type. If it's a pervious, if it's an area with concrete or asphalt, water can't drain through it. But if it's a grass area, trees, soils, that's area that is more permeable and would allow stormwater to drain into the ground. Additionally, you all are familiar with the king tide events that we encounter. We put out messages in all of our correspondence, our newsletters, and our websites of a few locations that have been known places throughout the city, namely 124th Street in Keystone, 125th Street near 15th Avenue, and 135th Street east of Biscayne Boulevard, though there are other areas throughout the city that are impacted. And it depends on the moon when you have the high or low tide. That's how the king tide goes. So it may not even require any rain event, and there are times when there's flooding on the streets throughout the city. So what we have done is we have worked on and we have issued a purchase order and a contract for a stormwater master plan update, which will be delivered early next year. This is the third round that I know of where we're completing a master plan update. This one will include the annexed areas as far as how the city, the areas of the cities right now. We also, with the ARPA funds that we received, have engaged consultants to design drainage improvements at 4 locations. They're listed on the slide, and they're Third Court from 131st to 135th Street. It's 121st Street between 10th and 11th Court. There's another one which we combined. It's called the Biscayne Canal East Problem Area, which is Northeast Third Court from 135th Street to 139th Street, and along 5th Avenue from 139th Street to 143rd Street. We have contracts and issued POs for all of these locations, and they are all at different statuses as far as their progress towards completing the design to address drainage issues in these locations. I picked one just to show you the type of project schedule. The project always involves design, permitting, bidding, and construction. Those are all steps that are taken with all of these type of projects. So on this slide, I'm showing you the schedule for the Northeast Third Court between 131st Street and 135th Street. And based on this, we won't have the design for about 40 weeks from now to have the design, and then we'll go through the other process. But a total, we expect that the total project, which includes the design, permitting, and construction, would be 92 weeks. Also to point out on Third Court, based on the surveys that we have, the elevation, ground elevation on 131st Street is 8 feet. Closer to 133rd Street, it's 3.5 feet. So you have a 4.5 foot drop to go to 133rd Street. Then going back to 135th Street, the elevation increases again to go above the 3.5. So it goes back to what I was explaining before as far as when there's a low point on a road or a low-lying road, you'll have flooding at that location, and it's also closer to the groundwater table. We all know in Florida that you don't have to dig too far before you hit water. So the lower the ground elevation, the closer it is and the more potential for flooding at that location. When it comes to operation and maintenance, we, at a minimum, clean and inspect all of our structures at least once a year. Third Court has 2 structures on the north end, closer to 135th Street, which connect to a canal, which goes to a county pump station, which also goes to the South Florida Water Management District Canal. The district controls the gate, and it's a county pump station that discharges from the city structures. Miami-Dade County has two pump stations in the area. They have Rux Park and Seaboard Acres. Seaboard Acres is on 131st and Griffin Boulevard. The C8 Canal is west of Griffin Boulevard. The flow from Third Court goes in that direction through the canal to the through the canal to the pump station and then to the C8. They're all interconnected. The next few slides will be regarding sanitary sewer overflows. The map you have in front of here represents the different locations throughout the county, not only North Miami, but North Miami Beach, Miami Beach, City of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Homestead. All of these locations have sanitary sewer overflows. And the possible causes for sanitary sewer overflows are listed on this next slide. You can have a blockage in your sewer system. You can have a line break. Councilman Galvin is probably very familiar with it. FP&L can put a pole through your gravity main and it causes a blockage. You have lines that have sewer defects that allow extra runoff to get into your sewer main. That can cause a sewer overflow as well. Power failures, if your pump station loses power and it's not pumping, the sewage is going to stay in the line and ultimately it's going to show up coming out through a manhole. You also have some occasions when there's improper design, and you have occasions when there's outright vandalism. Someone did something they weren't supposed to do that may have caused the overflow. So what we've been doing on our all of our correspondence, our emails, our website, our newsletters, our CCR, is we've been including a message for helping at least to control the number of blockages that we have. So we are asking all residents and all customers to can the grease. Fats, oil, and grease cause blockages in the sewer mains, and also stopping the clog by not putting wipes down the drains. We've had mop heads, we've had bricks, we've had all kind of things put into the sewer system that damage pumps and that clog the mains. Those are all potential causes for backups. And so specifically for 131st and Griffin Boulevard, what we did is we had our consultant do an assessment. So we wanted to check off that the system was operating optimally and that we had the proper design for this location. This map right here shows how we have a force main and different sewer mains that connect right down 131st Street and Griffin Boulevard. From that point, the sewer either goes by gravity or force main to the Miami-Dade County pump station. All the sewer in this area actually goes to a county pump station, a pump station that the county has ownership and maintenance of. If there's any issue at that pump station, it usually shows up on 131st Street and Griffin Boulevard because there's no pumping and it comes out of the ground. The sewage comes out the ground right there. So after our consultant completed their study, they advised us that we were operating the system at the proper condition. They analyzed it for a 2-year storm event. We have all of the flow going through both a sewer main and a force main. This map here is the water surface profile with the hydraulic grade line that showed that the system is operating optimally and with adequate capacity to service the area. Additionally, what we did is after Hurricane Irma, that was one of the times when the county's pump station lost power. We went and we installed manhole monitoring devices which measure the sewage flow in the manhole. We have something that's called a SCADA system, which gives us alerts and messages whenever there's an issue with our sewer system. Usually we have it for pump stations, but we started installing them in manholes. And we have been working with the county where they are actually giving us 11 more of these devices, and we're going to install 3 more around this location so that we can get alerts. We get them when you log in on your computer, we get them on your phone, We get text messages anytime, so we can get alerts whenever there's an issue, so that our crews can respond timely to avoid any type of sewer overflows. Additionally, we have hired contractors to assist us with the cleaning, inspecting, smoke testing, and making repairs to our system. Right now, we have a contract that's going for, the total is about $4 million. A lot of it has been invested in this sewer basin that we're talking about right now. And that concludes my report, and I'll take any questions that you may have.
Since this is a report, so only us council, I did mention Ms. Baraka, we will be meeting. But I'll request through the manager that, you know, you made yourself available, so you could join us, to answer some of the questions, because I don't know if this really, that's what I was hoping to get. Ms. Alina, the only thing that I want you to know, with God be my thing, we're gonna solve this. So I don't know how. Don't worry. Please. We'll meet, but we will. Trust me. We gotta work together with the council woman, with the management. We will resolve as much as we can in terms of what's going on. Because I don't think the report that I was looking for. How do we just resolve this? That's just my. I don't need because that's not me, ma'am. It's not, and we're gonna get it done. You gotta just trust that, and stay the course and help me out. You have to stay on me to make sure that we will. But I don't know when is our meeting, but we'll meet with management and we'll get this in terms of going. Thank you, Mr. Pierre-Louis. Any member of the council with questions?
Just three questions. How often is this the study that you mentioned from 2012 updated?
We've updated approximately every 10 years.
Every 10 years, so
Yes, roughly.
So this year is it being updated currently? Right
Yes,
now?
it's being
Okay.
updated currently.
And do we coordinate with the county at all? When the county is doing a project on 135th Street, like they just did, and I saw that this project kind of connects to 135th Street. Do we do any coordination so that, hey, if the county's working on a road, let's just use that time to work on our roads as well?
Yes, we try to do that as much as possible. We actually have improved communications with the county. It depends on what they're doing, and if we're doing something similar, or if there's an opportunity to take advantage of that as well. But we do have communication with them and try to coordinate these type of projects with them.
Okay, and then my last one, the open data hub, like that slide that showed all of the.
I'm meeting with her.
Do we have that? Like, do we have access to that? Like, I guess as residents to look at where.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it covers all municipalities to see where everyone is. Okay.
Yes. That slide was taken directly from the county's website,
Okay.
so everyone has access to it.
Thank you. That was it for me.
Councilman Gunn? Councilwoman?
Yes, thank you for the presentation. The manhole monitoring device, where, you say we have some now. What locations are they?
We have one on 131st Street in Griffin Boulevard.
Okay.
We have one on 125th Street in Northeast 16th Avenue, that area there. And we have one more, I believe it's, I'll have to confirm, but I believe it's on 5th Avenue in 141st Street.
Right, so you're saying that this device would alert you to make sure that there's not a sewage spill, right?
Yes,
But
once
there was
the-
just, based on what you're saying, the location, there was just one on Third Court in that area. So what happened? Why weren't we able to?
There's one on Griffin Boulevard, and by the time you get the alert, you still have to mobilize and make it to the location. So depending on how quickly it's backing up, if it's what we call it peak time, when there are a lot of people at home, there's more use, there's more flow going into the sewer main, so you have less time to react. So depending on when we get the alert, and what the conditions, what's going on, that determines how much time you have to react to address the alert.
And also, I know that you mentioned that the county owns and operate. Is there any way that we can have a MOU with them so that we can we can manage it? I know that they own and operate it. Have we thought about that? Because we get that.
We can discuss that, but that pump station also gets flows from outside the city and different residents and customers that are not city residents or customers.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to meet with Ms. Baraka, since you mentioned the question, to get all of the facts, because I know you have a lot of stuff, and I don't want to make this. I want to resolve your situation and everything on that area. I'm not trying to make and that's why we're not doing this, because I have a lot of questions myself, and thank you, in reference to the report and how we get there. And I saw the attorney kind of mention, I'm sorry, Ms. Caraba, I'm sorry, in terms of, some legal stuff. I know the county is involved. All I know is we're going to resolve whatever that we need to explore, because my thought was tonight you would come in and say, this is the cause of it, and this is how we resolve it. So that was that. And Miss Bicapa, can you, if you have 2 minutes, which we normally don't do, allow. And I know we have a meeting tomorrow. If you may, Miss Blend, please, and I'm sorry again with the pronouncing of your name. You may use the mic if you do, but I prefer that I go over this report and get your facts, and then go over it.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Blend, are you yielding your? Excuse me. Hold on, Ms. Blend, please.
I just wanted to
Yes, ma'am.
clarify.
Yes.
The relationship.
Okay.
Okay. I'm an attorney.
Are you her attorney?
Yes.
Excuse me. Wait, Miss. Okay, then we're not doing this. That's okay. Thank you so much.
No, I wanted.
Go ahead. Yes.
You asked.
Yes, I asked her
No, you
actually,
asked
but
for
yes.
questions that we were supposed to be able to ask to the gentleman.
No. Okay.
So
Let me
I
stop.
had
Excuse me, Miss Blend.
I had a short
No,
question
please.
and a comment.
Miss.
And Miss Eileen is rather upset because this has been
For what?
going on since 2018.
Okay.
So what I wanted to see, what was absent from his report, is the citations that were supposed to be issued to the two developments. So history is very important. They were annexed. 20 or 30 homes were annexed in addition to other, and there wasn't any flooding until the two building projects, one a strip mall and one that's supposed to be a housing development. And there were emails from the city, from North Miami, with that citations were supposed to be issued. Building
30
took
seconds,
place.
Miss Blend. Please wrap it
So
up.
what I'm-
30 seconds, please.
What I'm trying to say is that there, in his entire report, there was no mention of the two approved developments and the violations that they did building and construction that caused the flooding. And the folio numbers, it turns out, were, for the strip mall, were transferred to the developer of the multifamily homes, so no citations were issued. There was a complete report from the mayor and council's office in 2020, and no citations were issued, nothing was
Okay,
done.
thank you, Ms. Blend. No, that's thank you so much. So, yes, go ahead, Madam Manager.
So I wanted to just clarify, because I know we kind of went through the history of it, but
yes.
of particular importance is the actual project at Northeast Third Court drainage.
Yes.
That's the project that should work through solving her issue. Now,
Yes.
the thing of it is that there's so many issues there that it is a long process. So we're looking at about 92 weeks in total. So you're talking 2 years to actually fix the issue. 44 weeks in design with engineering. So we're starting that project. So by next year, we'll actually have information about all the work that has to get done to fix that area to do the construction. So unfortunately for our resident, we don't have a fast solution, but that project itself was picked out and will resolve where she lives. And so that's what this project is doing.
And see, thank you, Madam Manager, for the clarification. It's important, and now I learned as my first. I had said I would not do a public hearing on this particular item, and I should have stick to that because it's important to me. We had communications, and it's. As an educator, I like to learn as much as I can. The report just came out. I did not go, and I don't know if you have the actual report to go over it. And my first interaction with you, Ms. Bikaba, was we sit together, go to the report, you put out the concerns, because you mentioned the 2 developments. And once we get out all the facts, because I know your goal is to resolve that particular situation, and it's also my goal. I don't know what happened prior to that, and whatever questions that you have and whatever that you want to talk about, if it's 2 hours, 3 hours, I have dedicated that to do that with you, but I needed to get all of the information from that. But I was going to allow 2 minutes, but your attorney already used the 2 minutes, but I guess you could use the 2 minutes for doing public hearing in a few minutes. Yes.
Sir, what has been done to
Ma'am,
has been absolutely cruel.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, Miss
Been done this before you approve development, not afterwards. We've been flooding for 4 years. You're asking me way too more.
Ms. Bikaba, if we doing this now, it's either we do this to resolve it or we doing it publicly. I mean, I'm just trying to work with you to resolve this situation, and I hope you would understand that particular process. And I had already said I was not going to open public hearing, and I'll allow it, and your attorney step up, and we are meeting tomorrow in reference to that. I understand the situation, but this is something that the manager presented something, and we don't have to agree with it, but we do have to give them some time, and we said we will meet as much as we can to get your concern, to get your side of the of the story. And I just want you to know that we are an advocate. It's not that we are doing what needs to be done, but your attorney spoke in terms of the 2 minutes that you had. So thank you so much.
I'm sorry, if I
Thank
could
you,
just
Mr.
ask, Mr. Mayor, if I may, is majority of those houses on septic to sewer, or are they? I'm sorry, that's my question. They're on septic?
Yeah.
And we just received the $2.3
Yes.
million
We just
grant.
received the 2.3, so
It's
you're
right
talking
in
about
line.
getting through the engineering and also getting all the transfer for that. And that's actually on our priority list
Yeah.
for septic to sewer.
The 225.
Version.
I'd like
Thank
to
you.
say something, please. It's my
Yeah, go
district.
ahead. Go.
So thank you again for the presentation. Ms. Eileen, I'm telling you, I see that you're emotional. You and I know anytime there's flooding, anytime there's situations, I do my best. I've been one of the person instrumental in pushing the administration to make sure that we have this study done. So it is, and like I've mentioned a couple meetings ago, it's not going to be a fast process. I don't want to fool you, but we are addressing it. I want to see the residents on Third Court smile. I know what it's like. Whenever it rains, Whistler gets a call from me saying, hey, did you call the county? What's going on with the pumps? Look, here are the pictures. I actually drive, so I know what you're going through, but I can't lie to you here. It's going to take some time. We're going to have all the conversations. We're going to take all of the actions, and we're going to get it done. Okay? Just wanted to put that on the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pierre-Louis.
Thank you.
Yes, Madam, your item,
Oh, my
Madam
item?
Clerk.
Oh, yeah. So we know that Vice Mayor's up, and only 2 of us up here hasn't been, we have not been Vice Mayor, so
Public
I
hearing
know.
in a few minutes.
My motion is to appoint Mary Estime Irvin as Vice Mayor for next year.
Second.
Oh.
Awesome. Oh. Great.
It's time.
So this was
Yes,
the
it
discussion
is. Yes, it
regarding
is.
I'm sorry. Oh, you didn't read the item.
And for,
Yes,
for
I was
next
waiting
year,
for
you
that.
mean starting
Yeah,
now.
starting now.
Yeah,
Through
so-
2023.
yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's no next year. It's forever until we vacate, whatever the case is, because there's no rotation. Thank you. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
So
Read
this
it
was
into
the-
record.
This was the discussion regarding the vice mayor appointment for year 2023. I have a motion made by Councilwoman Timothy to appoint Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin as the vice mayor for the year 2023. The motion was seconded.
Madam, no, correction. There is no year. We had removed that in July during COVID, so we do not have rotation anymore. Okay, there's no rotation in that in terms of the resolution. And as a matter of fact, Estime Irvin was not there. I know where she was that day, and I know the four of us was on that the dais. The event that they had at
Mr. City Attorney, so how does it read now? Is it, I know
Yeah, that's what
we
it
changed it
reads.
from rotation to an election.
No, to a point,
Yeah.
which you just did.
Did I give it to you? So we went back and looked at the minutes.
Yes.
What happened, this actually took place a year ago.
Yes.
A year ago, there was an item, it was tab M, it was discussion election of vice mayor. The motion was made by by Mayor Bien-Aimé to appoint Councilman Desmay as vice mayor for 1 year, starting January 1st, 2022.
No, that was before that. We had the rotation removed.
I'm reading the meeting minutes, sir. That's
Which
This is from the December 14th.
It wasn't
2021.
December. This was, Mr. Attorney, when we had that discussion, and I don't know if Councilman Galvin was there, Councilwoman Estime Irving, when we presented, Councilwoman Keys was still on here. It was the four of us that was on a Zoom call, and I think somebody from the administration was coming. I could tell you what item that was on the agenda. I think Mr. Tate had an item because I was supposed to be at that same meeting with Councilwoman Irving, and I couldn't go because they needed a supermajority for that item. It was July or June. It was during the summer when we rescind the rotation. So in terms of the rotation, it's not December. It was
So, Mr.
during
Mayor,
the
are you
summer.
making a recommendation that vice mayor not be a yearly?
I'm not making, it's not it's already that. That's what I'm asking the attorney, and I'm giving them the factual when that actually occurred. This was before you had came in. Councilwoman Keys was on the Zoom, myself, Councilman Galvin, Councilwoman Irving was not there. She was at that thing at the Little Haiti Cultural Center with Mayoka. Somebody was coming. Yes, something. And, so she wasn't there. So it was the four of us, and Councilwoman Keys voted against it, and the three of us voted for it. Now, I don't know which month, it probably May or June, not this year that passed, the year before. That the removal of the rotation, and I believe for Mayor Bien-Aimé had sponsored the item. So that's what it is. I'm not making that recommendation. It's already that's the rule in terms of that. So and that's the meeting that you guys need to kind of review in that. Yes, I do remember that particular appointment, but I think just saying the 1 year, whatever the case is, there's no rotation. We had removed that prior to around the summer.
So can I?
You could amend your
Well,
the
no, I'm not going to
resolution.
amend the motion. I'm just going to.
No, I'm
say
not
what
saying
was
for
said.
you
So
to amend it. I'm not the maker of the motion. Madam Clerk, hold on, Madam Clerk, hold on. I'm not.
I am the maker.
Okay, yes, that's
yeah.
what I'm
My
gonna make.
motion was to appoint Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin as vice mayor for year 2023.
Since there is no year,
Well, that's-
we
well,
need
that's
that.
my motion,
I would
no.
definitely. Can I make a friendly? Well, I don't want to make a friendly amendment because there's no rotation. That is my question, and I'm surprised.
Do we want the city? Well, I guess we can appoint her as vice mayor.
Yes,
and the city
appoint,
attorney
and
can
then you guys
back
come
and
back with
clarify.
that. Yes, I would
Yeah.
I would support that
right.
in terms of that. Yes.
Okay, so I have a motion made by Councilwoman Timothy appointing Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin as vice mayor. It was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you. And now citizen forum, sir. Yes, sir.
Eileen B. Cabo, 13350 Northeast 3rd Court. I'd like everybody to go to bit.ly/3RDCT flood to see a video on exactly the atrocity that has been done to 3rd Court. This city annexed us, all right, for the undeveloped land around us. That's all they were interested in, all right? Then they allowed this developer to build 3 feet above us and allowed us to flood for 4 long, horrible years since the Citadel Plaza started in 2018. Then in 2020, the developer illegally removed the trees and elevated the land to our west. And they came out and they promised to do citations, and then they put the citations under the storage unit. And 2 years later, we continue to flood. And now I'm being told I'm supposed to wait another 2 years. That would be 6 years of flooding. 6 long years. I get it in my backyard, 16 inches against my property. And the entire street is flooded. We can't drive in and out of our driveway. Trash floating all over. All right, can you imagine what it's like? 6 long years is what it's gonna be. It's an atrocity. You should have allowed this developer, and you should have had drainage in place first before you put a development in. This is cruel, cruel atrocity. 3 feet above us. Okay, the mailman can't deliver mail. We can't go to work sometimes if the car gets trapped in the hallway. That's what we go through.
Hi, my name is Jose Rivera, 13325 Northeast 3rd Court. They had Public Works come out, code compliance.
Your mic, sir.
Hold the mic down to
Hold
your
it down a little bit.
Manager.
There you
go. And this is what they learned. It said the developer did not pull a permit to begin the development. A fine will be given. The developer cleared multiple trees from the property without obtaining a permit. A fine will be given. A survey is needed for the lot. It says the developer must pull a building permit. It says the developer produced to the lot to being construction, again, without the original permit to work on the property. A wall, they built this huge wall, and shows how the nearest backyards are flooding, which is her and the 3 houses. You gotta understand, when they developed this, it was all dirt and trees. They come and dug everything out, something that absorbed the water, and then they built it up, and now that it's done, it's nothing but concrete. And if you go to that place, you see on 3rd Court, it's high, and then it comes like this down to the street. So all the water comes down from there. And then on 135th, it's the same thing. It goes down to 135th, so it swings all the way down to 3rd Court, and it swings. Nothing happened to this developer. I mean, like she says, when you go to develop something, you make sure you take care of the community and say, make sure the sewage is there. They came and they ripped the whole street up, and they put sewage pipes. For sewage. I don't have that. But my point is, they dropped the ball on this. You know, now we're suffering from it. After 4 years, she's saying it's 6 years. How come they're not being penalized for that? They're the ones who caused the problem.
Thank you. We have 2 mics for public hearing. 2 mics.
Esther Blinn, 1990 Northeast 118th Road. I see that you voted for the appointment of now Mayor DeSalme. And I just wanted to put on the record that there are two aspects of our charter, which in effect is like a constitution. And so the vacancy, the term limits, had you not extended them, would have been May 9th of 2023. You could have had a special election. I did take the trouble to contact the Attorney General's office regarding the term limits and the conforming. Never has the Attorney General approved an 18-month extension of term. And it will not save us money. And furthermore, their office pointed out that in terms of voting behavior, yes, lots of people show up for the presidential election, for Senate, and for governor. But at the same time as they do that, they may not vote for any local officials. So you may not get more people voting you in or out November of 2024. Furthermore, you're going on recess. So unelected officials who are quite competent, the city manager, city attorney, and our city clerk, whose term is up also in May, will be running the city from tomorrow through, as I understand it, January 23rd. When you have over a year, you didn't
Thank you,
need
Ms.
to
Blend.
extend
Thank
your
you.
term.
Thank you, Ms. Blend. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Marisol Medina, 1270 Northeast 124th. I want to jump on Mrs. Blinn. We were so close to having an election to vote for who we as a community wished to have as a mayor, and to have the opportunity to see multiple people run for this position. And now, without us being able to be part of the conversation, because yes, few of us do actually come to these meetings. We have to speak, one of us is 100 of us. I would really like for you guys to maybe revisit that, because you do have the capacity right now to bring that right back up and allow us to vote again. Because I've seen many things like that be right back, even if they weren't on the agenda, to be able to be brought on the agenda. Sorry, I'm stuttering. I'm also very concerned for these people on 3rd. My goodness, I remember when that project first came up, and they're still battling so many years later to have the right to not, I mean, I don't know if you've seen that video. It's in her backyard. The entire yard is covered. So I hope that you guys will see it. I know it's beautiful to be there another 2 years pretty much, to reconsider, bring it back up again. Let's make it so that we can vote, and maybe moving forward, we have the right to shift this election to the next term, so that we're coinciding with things. But why was there such a rush? The moment a mayor is about to get out, that he brings this on the agenda, and then it moves forward. It just feels really, really rushed and a little chaotic to the normal procedures that are there. Thank you.
Thank you, Marisol.
Good evening, everybody. Mike McDermott, 840 Northeast 127th Street. Alex, it's good to see you up there. Congratulations. Congratulations. And Mary is vice mayor as well. Congratulations. And to everyone else who got their terms extended. You know, we've had a great, great council, and I'm glad to see it continuing. And I know we've done some great things in the past, and I can just see there's nothing but a bright future ahead. I know, Alex, that I know you did a great job in District 4, and I've got visual proof. I have pictures of helping Alex move furniture into people's homes and all the other things that, he did that, we were able to assist with. And I used to watch all the things that you did to assist the people over there in District 4, and I know they appreciate it. And I think that you're going to continue that on for the whole city. And we really appreciate your efforts and your time and all the things that you've done. So I just wanted to say congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you.
Good evening. Alina Medina, 1270 Northeast 124th Street. I really feel for Ms. McCobb and her neighbors, what they're going through, and I wish you could treat this as an emergency for them. I don't know if there's any kind of fundings that you have for emergency situations, but that's inhumane to go through what they're going through. So like I say, I feel for them. Another thing I was thinking about is this change of our elections at this time. So I don't know how this works. I'm not sure if I understand clearly if the appointed mayor, when that starts and when it ends, and then does it start now next month and continues to November 2024? Can somebody answer that question? Does it, if that's the case, that it continues all the way till November 2024, I really feel like my right to vote has been trampled over. There was no outreach to see if that's when we wanted to do it. I mean, to move it over to the general elections after we had the elections in May 2023. I don't think this is the right way to do this, and I hope that you do reconsider. Thank you.
William Previtel, 12,000 North Bay Shore Drive. Congratulations, Mayor Alex, and congratulations, Vice Mayor Mary. Look forward to your leadership. Two things. In regards to the sewage situation that we have, it's sort of a drastic situation for them, and is there a chance it might require a drastic solution? Can we possibly investigate the chance of elevating those, possibly as many as 10 homes? There's a cost to it, but it's not going to be 2 years long to do it. And what it would do is it would address the immediate problem of the sewage backing up, but it would also protect them long range from storms, flood, and such like that. So, is there a chance? What would the price of that actually be? Is it possible at slab on grade to actually do this, but to possibly elevate these homes 2 foot, 3 foot, whatever it might be, to then give them some peace of mind for their occupation? Another thought regarding the elections. I'm in favor of having November elections. It was pointed out that people may show up for the national elections and the governor's ticket and not sign up for local. And on the other hand, we have people locally that get people to those election, the polling places. That we have people that are getting there for the council, for the mayor's position, for the clerk's position, and they're going to vote for our local people. Thank God they're there. Now they can actually have a voice in the national election as well. So it's really two ways, and I think we're going to get a much better turn, much better representation. Finally, I'd like to wish holidays to our council, to our staff, to our police department. Thank you very much for all your efforts. To leave on a positive note, just a couple days ago, nuclear fusion has been proven. So let that be your happy holiday.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor and council, city manager, attorney, clerk. I'm excited this evening because we have a mayor in District 4. I just want to congratulate you, Mayor Alex Desamay, and Vice Mayor Mary Irvin. Thank you so much for serving our community. Not to forget our police department. Thank you so much. Because of you, I sleep at night. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and see you next year. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. I see none in non-public hearing. Oh, I'm sorry. Is the chief? Chief, are you coming? You know we will. always reserve 2 minutes for you.
I just want to congratulate you guys again.
Thank
Guys,
you.
job well done tonight. Thank you for serving, and have a nice holiday. Merry Christmas. Managers, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Public hearing is now. Council reports?
No report.
Oh, my God.
I never have any report.
Council, District 2, Councilman.
Just want to say happy holidays to everyone. We will see you in the new year. Want to congratulate our new mayor, Dr. Alex DeSilme, and Vice Mayor Mary Estime Irvin. Looking forward to working with you all. On Thursday, I will be principal of the day at North Miami Elementary School. We are getting ready to give the kids an experience like they never had before. There'll be career days, so thank you to all the staff who signed up for the career presentation. We're going to have a pizza party in the lunchroom. They're having assembly where we'll also be giving out toys to the kids. So we thank you, Mike McDermott, Prestige, and all of the sponsors who came on to help. Lady had 1 week to plan it, so I apologize for you all just getting the invite today. I was made aware of it last week, and I look forward to being principal of the day at North Miami Elementary School. Thank you.
Vice Mayor. Oh, my God, I got to get used to that. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to being mayor. May God bless you and give and the courage to serve the city of North Miami in the way that you should. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Cassandra, for pointing or making the motion. And thank you, Scott Galvin, for seconded. And thank you again, Mr. Mayor, for your vote of confidence. And I really appreciate it. Want to say happy holiday to all of you. I also would like to thank everyone who joined us for the Get in Gear community bike ride this past Saturday. Thank you for the rest and water break sponsors, the Nomi Village and Mitso Mozzarella. Thank you, thank you. Association of Haitians Educator of Miami-Dade and I invite you to join the annual holiday mixer, which was mentioned during our announcement. Don't forget, it's this Thursday at 6 o'clock at Mocha Paradise, so I hope to see you there. And Santa and I are inviting you to Winter Wonderland this Friday at 5 o'clock. So please, this is a family event. Come out, bring the kids, and come. There'll be music, toy distribution, food, rides, games, and a whole lot more. And January 1st, yes, after we say Happy New Year, we're going to be celebrating the Community Independence Day that we've been doing. This is our 4th year. And so I invite all of you to our Soup Jumud celebration, which will also be held at the Mocha Paradise Courtyard. Again, happy holiday. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and anything that you celebrate, and have a happy New Year. And I yield the rest of my time.
Oh, thank you so much, Vice Mayor. Thank you so much again to my colleagues up here. May all the glory be given to God. And I shall not say no more about that because that's usually don't do that. But on this special occasion, I want to thank North Miami, especially the people of District 4. I am here because of them. After God, I am here because of them. And the historic way they elected me the last time, which Councilman Galvin reminded me that I think I got more of the votes than any council person since we done redistricting in back in '92, I think, if I'm correct, based on Mr. Garrett's historical knowledge. But I want to say thank you to the city, and I look forward to working with every single one of my colleagues for the next couple of months and years in moving the city forward together. And again, I am here doing this because of God. That's all I want to say. And I want to leave it like that. And congratulations, Madam Vice Mayor. And again, thank you. Thursday, I have the food drive with District 4.
You represent all districts now.
No, I do, but this is the last one for District 4. And I wanted to thank Amazon for, helping out, and we will acknowledge them at another time. And also Melky Jean, Wyclif's sister with her foundation for helping us out for the 3rd time, and also Farm Share. So we are looking forward to all of the residents to come out. And again, thank you so much. And everybody in North Miami, I think, who are in here tonight knows what's my passion and knows what I stand for, and I will continue to do so. And Mr. Mayor, I see you in the back, Mr. Mayor. If you see me off course that I'm not me or I'm doing something wrong, please call me. And thank you. I did not know that you was coming to do this. It really means a lot to just the confidence. And that just shows you don't have to agree with someone all the time, but when it's the best thing for the city. And thank you for always standing up for the city for doing this. And I just wanted to say thank you again, and I look forward to working with the administration, the attorney, and Madam Clerk as we move the city forward. Thank you. The best is yet to come. God be your glory. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
Before we go any further, I just realized that we have not addressed the vacancy that we've caused in District 4, and wanted to make sure that we talk about probably putting a process in place so that we can properly,
Yes,
we can appoint someone.
Absolutely, and I'm all in favor of that. So I'll say openly now, anyone who is interested in the nominate in appointing for that seat, I guess could turn in a resume. I guess to who normally to the clerk. I think to the clerk's office. What date? July. No, I'm saying July. January 2nd, since the 1st is a holiday, or the 3rd. We're gonna do the 3rd. Because we back on the 10th.
Can we just do it at our next regular council?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But we would need a
just
cutoff
need
date.
The cutoff date, yeah, for them to submit, and then the clerk could forward it to all the applicants to us, whoever apply, and then on the 10th we could make our decision.
I believe winter recess. When is winter recess?
It's just that one meeting.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's two.
It's actually currently to the 23rd, so it ends on the 23rd, so the
Which, what ends on the 23rd?
The recess.
Which
Unless
recess
you-
were you talking about?
Yeah, on the meeting,
So our
the
next
recess
meeting?
went to that, unless you guys want to move the
right.
meeting.
No, I think I
We'll be
did
back.
move the meeting until, I think we had talked about it. We said that the prior to that, because you had mentioned the 23rd, and we said it'd probably be too
Want to do
long.
the 17th?
Yes, that could
So
be.
we put a vote on.
I thought it was the 10th.
You got, I'm sorry.
We would have to
There was
amend.
there was an actual resolution.
Yes,
Right.
that's
to
what
do
I.
that, so you would have to make a motion and
Okay.
vote on that item.
Can we motion that?
So what are we asking? We're at,
Make it the 10th.
Yeah, that's what I.
Consistency.
That's what I wanted to do. That was my.
Right, thank you.
I'll second that motion.
I didn't hear anything, so
Sure.
there's.
I'll make a motion that we reduce the holiday break to one meeting and then have the District 4 selection at the next
Rick's regular
scheduled
meeting
meeting
on
on
the 10th.
January the 10th.
Yes, I second that.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin, seconded by Mayor Desilme. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So
Motion carries with a 4-0 vote.
thank you, Madam Clerk. So with the appointment application, we said the 3rd. Are we all okay with the 3rd?
I think I'm okay with the 3rd. That's exactly a week before, so that gives us time to.
Which is perfect. Okay.
look at it.
So
I'm
the
sorry.
3rd. Yeah. So the
Mayor.
3rd. This is the announcement.
Mayor, just to clarify, you
Yes.
said appointment application. Could you,
Well, whoever's interested, I'm sorry, who submitted their resume.
okay.
Yes.
So that's the
submitted.
extent of the application? is
Yes.
The resume
Yes.
forwarded? Okay.
And then you once you receive it, Madam Clerk, you'll forward it to us, all of us, and
Mr.
we'll review it.
Mayor,
And yes, ma'am.
If you may, just for the clarity of people watching, because we said send resume, and I don't want anybody to think, anyone that resides and that meets the qualification
I would assume
of
if they're
District
gonna-
4, just,
You're
you
right,
know,
but-
of District 4 should submit resumes and be, by the 3rd, so that we have an opportunity to review. I just wanted to clarify that. for
And
the record.
I'm glad you did that, because the newsletters that I sent out that did reach yesterday instead of a couple weeks ago, and there are new boundaries, so there are new lines in District 4. Yeah, interesting. So it's up to 131st Street south of that. So the district kind of got a little bit bigger, although it was kind of already big. So again, thank you, Vice Mayor. Anyone interested for that position, submit your resume to the clerk by January 3rd by 5 p.m. Let's just say that. Madam Clerk, is 4 p.m. or 5 is good?
5 p.m. is fine.
Okay, 5 p.m. And then that will transmit to us, council members, and we will make a decision on our next regular meeting on the 10th. May I hear a motion for?
Vote
no,
adjourned.
Yeah.
They didn't report yet?
No, I think.
Mr. Mayor,
Oh,
they
I'm
haven't
sorry.
reported?
I'm ready to go so much. I'm sorry. Yes, Mr. Attorney, any report?
Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you.
Very quickly, a few months ago, I think it was a few months ago, we had an executive session on the Gerardette Pierre and Group 1 Realty Inc. case. That's the wall case over by the Audi dealership. That was settled for $473,000. We made a demand on Audi's insurance company, and yesterday I learned that we have come into an agreement, so we're getting that
good.
$473,000 back, so it's no cost to the city on that case.
Yay, that's a good Christmas gift, money. Madam Manager, and then Clerk. Sorry.
I just want to say congratulations, Mayor Dr. Alex Desume. Looking forward to working under your leadership, which I know you call the people leadership. So looking forward to that. And obviously, congratulations to our Vice Mayor, Mary Estime Irvin. Looking forward to working with the whole entire board. Thank you. And happy
Be
holidays.
saving Madam Clerk. for last.
So usually it's the last meeting before recess. I'd be really long, but I have a really bad headache, so I'll be a little long. December 12th is really significant. That was the day before today, and today we have our mayor, Mayor Desume. December 12th is important because 50 years ago, in 1972, on December 12th, was the first recorded arrival of Haitian boat people to the shores of the United States, to South Florida. And it's really significant because it's not lost upon me that if not for the sacrifices of those 65 people who came here and together with the Black Baptists, with the Jewish community, with the Catholic community, I may not have been able to go to school. I wouldn't enjoy what I enjoy today. And maybe we would not have a Mayor Desume, right? Sure. So it's not lost upon me that we've gone from boat to votes. Amen. But yet there's still so much work to be done. And so I just want to let everybody know that over the course of the year, we started yesterday all the way through December 12th, 2023. We will be commemorating these days. This day, some events may be a little bit sad, some will be uplifting, but throughout we're going to celebrate not only the sacrifices of those 65 people, but also the progress that this community has made, continues to make, and the communities that we have built alongside other folks within the community. It's also not lost upon me that one of y'all's colleagues lost 5 people to the seas coming here for a much better life. So we absolutely can't take for granted everything that, all the privileges that we enjoy here today. Congratulations once again, Mayor Desume. Congratulations to our Vice Mayor. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Felices Fiestas, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, Joyeux Noël, Bonne Année, and I cannot wait to see you all again in 2023.
Move
Thank you
to
so much.
adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn made by Councilman Galvin. Is there a second?
Yes, we second.
Seconded by Mayor Desume. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0